You turn this on the light on.
Okay, here we go.
Perfect.
Oh shit, where did he go? God damn it.
Let me see.
He was in the waiting room. Now he's not there anymore. How do I let him back in?
Oh, he'll come back in. He'll come back in. Just give him a minute. You can't go back into the room. He'll join.
I'm trying to find the room.
He's not there yet. He jumped out.
No. Shit. Oh.
He'll come back. Don't worry.
There he is. Okay.
Notorious Vic. He needs to turn his camera on.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Vic.
Hey, what's up? We're waiting for your camera.
Bear me 1 second. I just want to... Speaker. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up?
Awesome. There we go.
Here you are.
Hey, Vic.
Woo! How you doing, guys?
Good. Hey, Doug, make sure you've got it on speaker view up on the right-hand side of...
I'm trying to get it. It's on the right side.
Yeah, up the
I'm
top.
on gallery view. I'm not on speaker view. Yeah.
Gallery view is the three of us should be you, me and you up the top and Vic down the bottom, or the two on the top and one at the bottom.
Okay.
Just so it's easy.
I think I'm there.
Okay, fine.
I think I'm there. Okay. Hey, Vic, how you doing?
I'm awesome, man. You?
We're doing good. We're doing
awesome.
good.
Good. So what time is it where you guys are?
So I'm in Colorado, Vic, which is Mountain Standard Time. It's 8:30 in the morning.
Yeah, it's 9:30 in Chicago in the morning. What time is it over there?
It is 3:30 in Wakefield, Yorkshire, England.
Very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was just telling Simon about you, and I think I've been following you for a year. I think, yeah, when the pandemic hit, we started closing. I remember hopping on LinkedIn, and I saw a post of yours. I forget what it was about, but you were just cussing a storm. You were using F-bombs. You were really people on, and you were flipping into a middle finger. It was just, I'm like, am I on the right channel? Am I on Twitter? Or am I on LinkedIn? And,
yeah. I think it was probably about a year and a half ago that we connected. It's weird. And obviously we're not connected with Simon as well. So that's awesome.
We're going to fix that today. And one of the things I want to just get right off to the start was that from my perspective, for the first 3 months, I had no idea what you did. That was the best part. You were just shooting the breeze. You were talking to people. You were having fun. You were just having fun. And then if you were interested in Vic, you would go on his profile and it'll have more humor for you there. And it takes a while for people to get to know what did Vic do. And then you release, some stories with your client and so on and so forth. Basically, Vic, what I'm trying to say is that you do everything LinkedIn gurus say not to do. Every single thing. You break all the rules. And I'm trying to tell Simon, we need this guy on here. We need to understand how he came about that way. So my quick question for you is, how long have you been on LinkedIn? And on day one, did you already have this plan? Or was this just something you figured out along the way?
Yeah, so I've been on LinkedIn for, I've had LinkedIn for, I don't know, probably about 10 years. And to be honest with you, using it properly, I'll probably say about 2 years. Almost 3 years, I suppose. But the last 2 years is when I sort of like changed sort of my approach, my thing. To be honest, I don't even know what it is. I'm literally just having fun. But I I always have this idea that, like, basically, at the end of the day, everything started from nothing. Do you know what I mean? So, like, I don't know, this is really, really weird. But for example, like, we never used to have cars. Do you know what I mean? People were just walking, but we figured it out. Do you know what I mean? And I thought, can I swear?
Go ahead, do whatever you want.
Yeah. So I just figured, like, fuck it, I'll just fucking learn. Do you know what I mean? So I had a look at people who I thought that sort of inspired me. People who are not doing the norm, because the thing is, with what I do, obviously I do IT, is that there is like billions of us doing the same thing, and if I was doing the same thing as they are, I would just be like another dickhead. Do you know what I mean? So sorry, not that they are dickhead, but you get what I mean. So I thought, do you know what? I will just do my thing. So I have this thing where people thought, people go on LinkedIn. I mean, for me, because everything that I do is based on myself. Every post that I post is something that I would want to stop and look at it. Do you know what I mean? So I thought, if I post something that I will stop and look at, that's exactly what I want to do. People want to go on LinkedIn. What I think people want to go on LinkedIn, especially in my industry, is that, you get all these IT guys, they've been working all day. They don't go on LinkedIn to necessarily find information on what to do. They already know what to do. They go on LinkedIn because they're professionals and they want to go and chill. So I thought, why not entertain these guys? Do you know what I mean? And not just be the normal, oh, look at this, we do this, we're amazing, we've got this, or look at our nice, clean, whatever. And I thought, what, no, fuck it, fuck that. So I'm just going to do what I think that they want to see. And if that's not what they want to see, then someone who's like me wants to see that. And weirdly, they do. And the reason why I don't really, I mean, I do post what I do and stuff now and then, but not as much, because it's just, there's only so much you can take IT, without boring people. There's so much, content you can put out that is that, because otherwise you just keep on regurgitating the same thing as everyone else is. Obviously, at the end of the day, we are exactly doing the same thing. We are regurgitating the same thing, but who's, good at spitting that shit? Do you know what I mean? So it is that. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to post whatever I want. I'm going to post whatever I want. And, if people like it, they'll be like, yeah, who is this guy? What does he do? So then obviously on my page, it kind of tells people what I actually do. And it's worked. But the one thing it's been literally trial and error. It was just sort of like just posting stuff, that doesn't work. I'm not going to do that. And then it was just like, it's just been consistency, and just literally just posting what I want. And just pretty much ignoring everyone else, and just having fun with it. And I hope, obviously, that's come through as well. I hope. I mean, I do get a lot of people saying, that's pretty cool, that's funny and stuff, which is awesome. It's what keeps you going. And I've never, I've read a couple books, and the books that I've read. So Dan Kelso, the books that I've read are, for example, Dan Kelso's Fucking Good Content. And it's that big, and it doesn't really say much, to be honest with you. It was just pretty much saying just do what you want, kind of thing. And however much everyone says, all these gurus say they're experts, which I don't know. I can't define an expert. You might be good at something, but you're not an expert. The thing is that with marketing, it changes on a daily basis. To have the ability to capture an audience, it's either luck most of the time. I mean, you see, look at the Weetabix. That's genius though. That's genius, and it didn't cost much. Or you just keep on doing it. You just keep on trying it. You try things and it happens. You can't say I'm an expert, because I see a lot of people who say they're experts and they're really not. So yeah, I talk a lot, by the way, a lot of shit. So yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know if I've answered your question, but yeah.
I think, Vic, I'm in a different situation than Doug, because I understand exactly what you do, because I used to work for British Telecom a long time ago.
Yeah.
And I come from the IT background. So when I saw your profile, I thought, man, he's clever. It's really clever. And, I think people, you're exactly right. People resonate with the fact that, we're all a bunch of IT, telco, web nerds. And so you can Google just about anything you need to know. And we can, we're one degree of separation away from finding the resource we need, whether it's a person or a product.
Exactly.
So I think that's where you've done an amazing job, because you've created your own identity, and you've stuck to your guns. And I think you're right. I mean, there's so many, what I call snake oil charmers on LinkedIn that are peddling their, secret sauce. And people would kill to have your engagement. I know experts that would kill to have your level of engagement, right? So one of the posts I saw the other day that I enjoyed was the one on adopting animals, right? And, I think that connects with people on a human level, right? Yeah. It's nothing to do with Vic, the VLAN guy or the IT guy. It's the fact that, what motivated you to do something like that? How did you come up with that idea?
Yeah, so, that's the other thing as well. I always try and do posts that are, relatable, posts that have some kind of an element of, human in it, rather than just a business whereas I'm working for a company and this is what we do. I want to reach the actual person who's actually reading that, So I've, it's a genuine post. We rescued a dog, and we actually didn't know the background to the dog. We took him. Funny story. I'll try and be very, 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 very quick. But the dog was actually in a rescue center, if you want to call it that. It was absolutely horrible, and we were allowed to take the dog on the same day. But normally they do house checks and stuff like that. So we thought if they'll let us take a dog on the same day we've seen this dog, it could be anyone who's going to take that dog. Do you know what I mean? So we decided to take him because you hear horror stories about dog fights and stuff like that. So we took him, and then fast forward last year. Last year, Dogs Trust, a guy from Dogs Trust came and obviously knocked on my door and obviously tried to tell me, try to sell me, but he was obviously just trying to raise awareness. And he told me the amount of dogs that have been bought during COVID, just because people are at home, and how much they're starting to bring them back because they can't look after them because some of them are going back to work. And I was thinking that's you can't just get a dog and then decide that I don't want it anymore. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't work like that, because I love animals. My kids love animals, and I thought, no, fuck it. I'm gonna post it, and hopefully that will resonate with other people, and obviously just make people aware that you shouldn't do that. It's amazing to have a dog, yes, but you need to make sure that dog is basically part of your family. You can't just decide one day, I've had enough of this dog. We've got a dog here. Our dog is amazing with humans, but absolutely hates other dogs. But we still got him. We could have taken him back once we found out, but yeah. And that's it. And obviously there are a lot of people who love dogs. So yeah, that's the reason why I posted that. Yeah.
So Doug, I just had a weird idea. I think what we should do with someone like a Vic is we should do a live post. Right? So we should put either you, me, or him on the spot. Doesn't matter who. But I Vic would be better. And we'll do it as a separate session, Vic, but we'll record this and we'll try and because you're the IT geek, we can take a live video feed of your screen and we'll watch you post real time. Like how long would it take you to make a post?
Do a post?
Yeah.
I think all the time. It's crazy. I don't know. Like I can do a post like in 2 minutes.
Okay. So what
that's an exaggeration, but
no, but you can, because I did one when I finished exercising yesterday. I walked home and I did it from my phone. Yeah. And I never do that. Like I just, it's crazy. So I think what it would be good to do, Doug, is to put someone like Vic on the spot and say, okay, for example, Vic, what's something that you're thinking about now that you might think is a post on LinkedIn?
I mean, it is Women's Day.
It's what?
So it's women. Yeah, it is International Women's Day, which is a thing, which is awesome. We've also got. Do you know what? Actually, while we're on the topic, so this could be a post actually. So obviously, I went on LinkedIn this morning, and I've been reading through. Obviously, there's the whole Harry and Meghan bullshit going on.
Right.
And then I saw a post, someone saying, right, I'm not against Meghan. And also I am not against the royal family, but I don't like whinging, or I don't like whining, but then he went on to start complaining about Meghan and then the royal family and everything else, and obviously Women's Day as well. And I was thinking, well, what the fuck? Do you know what I mean? All you had to do was literally not post anything. So I was like, yeah. So that really got me annoyed, and I was actually I was going to write a post, and obviously to say, why are you contradicting yourself? It's just if you don't like something, the problem is, right? I whinge a lot, by the way.
Well, you are English, remember, Vic? You're English. We're used to English whinging.
The problem is you get all these people that complain so much on how there's so much bullying, that we've got so many problems and we've got this and that. And I'm thinking, you are the source. The reason why all this is happening. Sorry, that's it.
Shut that curtain, Vic. You got the 1 hour of sunshine a month.
I know.
In London, that's coming through.
I know.
There you go.
Is that better?
Well, okay. Go back the other. Yeah. Shut it. There you go.
I can't even do curtains.
No, that's all right. Perfect.
Is that better?
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, and you get all these people that just complain, and.
But was this a guy on LinkedIn, an English person on LinkedIn this morning?
Of course he was English, yeah. Like you said, English people complain.
No, they don't complain. You just comment a lot negatively.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's a problem. And do you know what it is? I blame the media. I mean, everyone blames the media, but it's their fault. They just, because obviously at the end of the day, that's how they make their money, which is disgusting. But hey ho. Anyway, so right, back to posting.
So what? How long would it take you to crank out a post on what you either it be about the royal family or Women's Day?
10 minutes.
Would it?
Yeah.
And that's key here, because I have a lot of clients who I work with, and they take hours to write a post, and I know immediately that post is not going to do well. If it takes you hours to write a post, it's not going to do well because you're overthinking it.
Yeah, I agree.
You're worried too much about things that don't matter. What you just said, 10 minutes to write a post about Women's Day or the royal family, I immediately know that's going to be a very authentic post because you don't have time to go back and edit, overthink it, sweat on it, dwell on it. Boom, 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 boom. Sent. Done. Right?
I honestly, I don't take more than half an hour to do my posts. And sometimes you can actually tell from my writing, but again, it's I don't worry about it because as long as it makes sense, I don't really worry too much about my grammar because otherwise I'll end up not doing it, but again, I did worry before. I did think about it so much that I had it posted, or I just no, I can't post that kind of thing. But now I don't really give a fuck, so I just do it anyway. because it is how I felt at the time, or how I feel at the time. So I just do it anyway. It makes me happy. And the other issue is because I think so much. Like, honestly, I was actually going through my phone and on my notes, because whenever I think about anything, I just write it down on my notes. It could be anything. It could just be like, I don't know, a dog shot himself or something. And there's a tree next to it. I don't know. That's just an example. You know what I mean? And I was going on my notes, and I came out of my notes, and then my daughter was like, Dad, how many notes do you have? And I had 625 notes, but I also deleted so many of them. But that's just notes. And that's just like words that I think, or little phrases or little things that I think about. And then I'll just go through it, whenever I'm bored and stuff, and I'll just read it. But I'm constantly thinking, and it's sometimes it's really, really scary. Or sometimes I'll be talking to my missus and she might say something, because I don't know if you've seen, but a lot of my posts as well I've got a lot to do with my family. I learn so much from these guys, because obviously we spend so much time and stuff. And I'll just be like, oh yeah, content. And I'll just stop and just write it, because I forget things. And she'll be like, Vic, seriously, if you say content one more time, I will seriously divorce you. I'm like, yeah, sorry, my bad. But yeah. So I think too much as well. But obviously it does, it does help.
So, Vic, let me ask you another question that's more business related, because I think that's important. A lot of people see success on LinkedIn, and they view success like they would view your profile. You've got a business or a job, but that's not what you focus on. You get massive engagement. You get a lot of likes, a lot of views. You're you could say that you're polarizing, because you say what you think and you're not scared of political correctness. So that's good. But you see a lot of this on LinkedIn where people do really well, right? According to the vanity metrics, let's call it.
Yes.
But
yes, you do see it.
How has that impacted you from a business perspective? So how is that your success on LinkedIn, has that translated to success commercially for VLAN?
Right. Okay. So, right.
That's a good question, don't you think?
It's a brilliant question. I love that question.
I think it's like
so. Yeah. Because at the end of because at the end of the day, I do spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. So here right. So I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn. Yeah. Since I started the company 3 years ago, 3 years in January, 29th, by the way, I've made 2 days where I picked up the phone and actually called people. 2 days in 3 years. All my leads have come from LinkedIn. Now, this year, since I was heavily using, LinkedIn, properly, I would say, or consistently, not this year, sorry, last year, consistently, my business doubled in profit and in turnover as well. In terms of monetary wise, I've also managed to get 2 guys on board as well, just because of what we're doing. So in a nutshell, yeah, it's fucking working. And like all my clients pretty much have come from LinkedIn. I get loads of referrals as well. Okay. I would love to give you the figures as well, which is no. But yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. In fact, like I actually did a post last year, sometime late last year. I've always, the other thing as well, I don't set myself goals, but I've always had this goal where I wanted to do £1 million turnover. Now my aim was to do £1 million turnover in like year 3. Not year 3, year 5. I thought that's, quite realistic, especially that I started from scratch. And I managed to do it last year. So yeah, it is fucking working. Amazing. Yeah. I don't boast about it too much, which I should.
But metrics matter, right?
I have a quick question.
Go ahead, Doug.
Yeah, man.
I have a scary question for you, but what happened if LinkedIn crashes?
What happened is LinkedIn crashes. Right. So obviously with all this LinkedIn happening, So with everything happening on LinkedIn, new clients, I've also got obviously existing clients, and I've never lost a client. So even if I did have the clients that I had, they're still ticking. And then obviously I have to, find other ways of doing it. But at the moment, it's working, and I'm putting all my focus on it. Because the people who I'm dealing with, that's something actually I need to look at. But the people who I'm dealing with are spending time on LinkedIn, and that's where they are, and it's working. If I try to put my energy and my focus on something else, I feel like I will lose that and start diluting the message. And obviously, if it's working, fuck it, just jump on that train. Do you know what I mean? Until it doesn't. But I am trying to future-proof the company at the moment, and we're looking at the support side of things quite heavily, and it's going amazing.
I mean, I think Doug brings up a good question, Vic, in the sense that, and there was a guy, and I'll remember his name in a second, but he had a very big following on LinkedIn, mm-hmm. and he got banned, okay, and he quickly transitioned to other, social media, so mm-hmm. Twitter and Instagram and stuff like that. And he mm-hmm. recovered, and he got reinstated, and LinkedIn never admitted why they banned him, mm-hmm. but he was a heavy hitter on LinkedIn. And I think his name was Taylor Offer, Offer, double. Mm-hmm. But we can talk about it later, but he was saying the importance of, and being in the IT business, Vic, you'd understand redundancy, so, yeah. In terms of, it's a bit like having a backup UPS, right?
Yeah.
And saying, I think for us, our data integrity is in our email database, because we don't use social media for our transportation business in terms of LinkedIn. We use other social media platforms like Facebook and stuff like that. But nothing comes to us from LinkedIn. So, but I think it's important that you own you own your own customers. And I think that's, because I was amazed when this guy went down, when he was banned, and he showed, he was posting on, Twitter and stuff, all the correspondence he was having with LinkedIn. Mm-hmm. And it just seemed bizarre. And then what was even more bizarre is that they reinstated him, right? So without giving much reason. And he never, it didn't look like he had violated any terms of service.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I totally agree. I mean, if LinkedIn goes down now, I'll be all right. My company will still do okay.
Given that they're owned by Microsoft, it's amazing they don't go down every day, right?
Well, yeah, this is true. But yeah, no comment. I'm one of Microsoft's partners.
I'm not, and I can't stand Microsoft.
But yeah, I know. It is very important. It's future proofing. But again, it's pretty much similar to we've just been hit by COVID. People had to pivot and stuff like that. So you've got to be quick to adapt. And I pretty much have to do the same thing as well. But at the moment, we are talking about new business that's coming from LinkedIn. I don't necessarily go on LinkedIn to just, it's clients I've already got. So obviously if it does die, then I'll need to find other ways of getting new clients.
So Vic, let's change direction for a second, and we'll talk about Doug, because Doug's it's good to talk about Doug and Doug's challenges. So, and this is a more
beard, by the way.
This is quite a serious question for a Monday. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
So before you got on, Doug and I were chatting, because we do that because we're friends, right?
Yeah.
And he was yelling at me about something, and then he spoke to me about, he posted something this morning.
Yeah.
And he pardon me, he's convinced that it was a bit too personal, and his post was about him being bullied as a kid. Okay. And I looked at it and said, I don't even think that's out of on a scale of 1 to 10. I think that's a 5. And he said, well, that to me is a 9. So talk about, how personal you should get on LinkedIn, or what is your own comfort level for being personal on LinkedIn? And maybe if you get a chance, quickly go glance at his post this morning while we're talking.
I will do. It's social media for professionals. So, at the end of the day, we post things that you want to, obviously everyone is holding back. There's some things that you don't really share, but there are things that, someone else has gone through, and, you share that. Like, for example, I posted, something to do with when the whole, BLM stuff was going on. There was a day where I just felt like absolutely rubbish. And I was just like, do you know what? I kind of been, I felt so close to like literally crying, like, and I've not felt like that for a long time. So, I posted something like that. And bullying, especially now, I've not seen the post yet, but I'll have a look. But, bullying is horrible. I've seen it, I would like to think I've gone through, bullying, especially like in a workplace. But there's also a different way of bullying people. Just because you don't go to someone and like punch them in the face, and tell them like they're dickheads, that's, that. But the worst kind of bullying is, it's the stuff that you don't actually see. It's the manipulation, the I don't know, the blackmail, the passive aggressive sort of, and that's worse, because that plays with emotions, because you can't really go tell someone. Even if you do tell someone, oh, this has happened, they'll just be like, well, maybe they meant this way. It's like, no, they don't. They do that all the time. So, it's that kind of stuff. And it's important, and it happens so much in workplaces. I hear loads of stories. So it is important to, to talk about it. So, yeah, I mean, to me, it's got to be talked about.
And so, but go back to the question of how personal.
How personal can you get?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to tell people that I've shaved my balls, if that's what you mean. but I mean, I don't know how personal you can get very personal. I mean, I've seen loads of personal stuff. I mean, I've seen people crying, because of what they've shared. I don't know. It's a hard one. I think, I don't know. You can get as personal as you want. It's all about being comfortable. If you're comfortable posting something and knowing that, if someone sees that, they're gonna be like, oh, that's a bit weird, bro. What's that all about? Do you know what I mean? So you've got to be you've got to be comfortable that what you're posting is okay. And even if it comes back to you, you'll be like, yeah, that's fine. So what? I posted a picture of my missus with a monkey. I don't know. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
The reason why I struggled to put that post out was because I don't want cheap wins. There's a lot of people on LinkedIn or in social media in general looking for cheap wins. So they put out really, really personal stuff because you're going to get engagement. That's an easy way to get engagement. However, somebody asked me this question, so I felt compelled to respond. And at the same time, I'm like, this is not really the position I want to be in. I don't like to talk about being bullied. Not that I struggle with it now. It's just, it makes me feel weak. Maybe my own insecurity with having been bullied, but I feel like I've moved on from that. And to talk about it just brings like, this is not really how I want to come out. I don't even talk about this with my wife, just not something I sit around the house talking about. So if you came over, we drank some beer, we got really drunk, we're not going to talk about it because it's not the kind of guy I am. But somebody asked me, can you grow or can you find the good in being bullied? And I had to take a couple of days to think about it because I don't think about it. And it's like, yes, you can find good. Yeah, you can come out of it being tougher. You can come out of it realizing that you can only be yourself. And you can also fight back. My knuckle, if you have been had surgery on many times and I can count, popping someone in the skull. But that's not stuff I want to talk about on LinkedIn all the time. So that's why I brought that up to Simon, because I was scratching myself. It's like, this feels uncomfortable. So being personal is very uncomfortable for me anyway.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no, I agree. But again, obviously, it's also, how comfortable you are sharing it. But yeah. Yeah. I mean, sorry, you mentioned about people, post. I mean, you do. This is the thing, okay? Obviously, sometimes you can tell, who is actually using situations or whatever it is to obviously gain engagement. It's very, very easy, to tell who's actually using, certain things to try and get engagement. And, I've seen it, I pass by it because I'm like, yeah, whatever. Yes, it's bad, but seriously, do you know what I mean? And again, that's me probably being horrible, but sometimes you can judge, you can tell how people come across on their posts, how, what's the word? Not legit, how genuine people are on their posts, whether it is actually, it's something that they want to share, or is it something that they sort of like want people to feel sorry for them. It's horrible saying it, but it's the fact. It is true. But again, I don't say I will never ever, leave a comment. I will never ever say anything saying like, oh, that shouldn't be here, whatever, because that's not my place. I know it is, and I'll just keep it to myself and I'll just scroll. But you see a lot of people. What I don't agree with, even if someone does post that, you don't have the right to say like, you're so fake. That's bullshit. I'm glad whatever that's happened to you. I will never do that, and I don't agree with that. And that again turns to bullying. But the person who's posted that, they need to be ready for that. They need to be ready for someone like that to do that. Because again, otherwise, because the thing is that it only takes one post. It only takes a comment for someone's mental state to change. You've gone from like having a really good day to flipping just because for someone's post. And I'll never do that. So and it happens. So I think people do post shit for likes, yes, but they shouldn't, but they do. And I don't say anything, even though I go like, yeah, that's bullshit. And people should not come and say that's bullshit because it's not nice. So yeah.
I mean, I think the good thing with LinkedIn still is that there's enough intelligence about it's not like Facebook where it just deteriorates into a big shit show. I think there's still a fair bit of respect on LinkedIn professionally, and so I think we give each other, I certainly feel this, that people give each other the benefit of the doubt on LinkedIn. So even if we see look, there's a lot of people that post about their battle with cancer, and some people do that better than others, a lot of, how do we know, the three of us know what it's like to go through that journey individually?
Exactly.
And so some people deal with that differently. I mean, I know two people that are young and that are going through one has gone through cancer and one's going through it right now. And they're both, I've watched them both go through it, and they're both very different people, how they're reacting, their emotions, and so, and they're posting about it because they're of a younger generation than you. So, but I mean, go back to Doug's position. See, Doug overthinks things. He's worried about. He does. He's one of the most deep thinkers, even with a lack of hair. Vic, he thinks, he thinks a lot.
Yeah, it's okay to think a lot. I think a lot too. I think a lot too, but I try not to let it stop me do stuff though.
Okay, so here's another question. My light keeps falling off the back of my laptop. So, Vic, did you know that Doug was deaf?
Yes, and I've seen loads of Doug's videos.
Oh, okay, fine. So you've seen you knew that. Okay.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that he posted about a couple of weeks ago or a week ago was, because we were talking about this and people. In
fact, we actually had a joke. I think I posted a comment a while back, and I think it was to do with hearing. And obviously, you gave back, "Oh, that would be hard," considering I'm deaf. Of which we laughed about it because it's funny. Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
I mean, I think that's the because we know we know each other.
Yeah.
You know, I think you should be allowed to take the piss out of each other. I mean, Aussies and English take the piss out of each other all the time, right?
Yeah, I think
that's why we probably have so much in common. But say with now, no, I'm not suggesting we make fun of people's, let's call them disabilities, and I don't think Doug would regard it as a disability, but his inability to hear, you shouldn't make fun of. But in the right context, why can't we talk about it? You know, just like to say, you know, I make fun of my heritage all the time, or the fact that I'm, you know, losing my hair, or I'm getting old, or, you know, so I don't take life that seriously. And I think that resonates a lot with people on LinkedIn, because they want to know that their lives, or that your life is as shitty as theirs, right?
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for in terms of connection on LinkedIn. They think, look at him, this silly geek. He's trying to go running. He's 54. What the hell's he doing exercising? Or, you know, the fact that Doug makes fun of his inability to hear, because one of the clients said to him the other day, oh, you just call me on the phone. And he's going, how the fuck am I going to call you on the phone? I can't hear, right?
I think that's a culture. Maybe this is Western culture, which includes England, parts of Europe and America. We're so afraid to be real. That is the biggest afraid, to be real. And part of being real is accepting your own, for lack of a better word, shit. You know, my inability to hear is funny to me most of the time, because it's full of jokes. I can appreciate a great duck joke. You will never find somebody laughing harder than me at a duck joke than me. Because if you do it right, it's the most hilarious thing, because I love it. However, there's a difference between breaking somebody's balls and being a dick, you know, and I know the line between, if you're being a dick, then you know, you need to cut that shit off. But if you're having a go at me, I don't really care, because I'm going to give it right back to you. But we've lost that in Western culture somewhere. Somewhere we've lost the ability to not take ourselves too seriously. Right?
Yeah.
If I want to make a joke about International Women's Day, that's a joke. You best believe 90% of people are going to get so upset with me. So I can't joke about International Women's Day, because there's suffering behind it, which I get. But it's funny. There's a lot of jokes running in my head right now. When I saw all those posts on International Women's Day, I just had to bite my tongue, because there's some things I want to say in a funny way. Now, again, have women suffered? Absolutely, women have suffered. So has everybody else. So has everybody else. And of course, people come back to me and say, well, white male privilege. Okay, granted, I'm white. I'm a male. I'm still that. So therefore, I don't have any privilege. So let's get back to the joke. You know, but we've lost that way to connect. Even our comedians are changing. Think about the way comedies change. Eddie Murphy, Richard Pryor will not be able to be successful today. They will not. Yeah. They will lose very bad. If they brought the same joke to 2021, it wouldn't work. There's too many of us. Oh, you said what? No, so yes. Anyway, what do you think about that, Vic?
Yeah, it's funny actually. So weird that you mentioned Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor, because when you were talking, I was actually thinking there's a skit that he does of Eddie Murphy is like driving. I think it's Raw. Was it Raw or Delirious? Anyway, he's driving, and he's got Stevie Wonder next to him, and it just tells him like you know, how amazing he is and stuff, and how you know, how impressed he is. And he says, well, I'll tell you what, if you want to impress me more, how about you take the fucking wheel, motherfucker? Anyway, do you know what I mean? That's funny. But the funny thing is, even in that, like, people are like, oh, you can't say that. It's like, he knows Stevie Wonder. Do you know what I mean? They're like friends, and he finds it funny. There's a lot of people nowadays are very quick to get upset or get offended on your behalf. Now, I've had it where people go like, oh, you can't say that. And I'm thinking, the guy just said black. Do you know what I mean? It's like black is a fucking color. And but then what happens is that makes you feel awkward, so it makes me feel awkward because I'm thinking this guy is trying to look out for me, but has just made the situation awkward by noticing or thinking something is like offensive. Unless someone comes up to me and obviously says the N word and like says blah 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 blah. Do you know what I mean? Then to me, it's just it's just what I mean. I don't get offended. I literally don't get offended. But sometimes, you do because there's certain situations. I could tell you, I could bore you, but I don't really want to. Where it's just like that guy did not mean that quite well. Do you know what I mean? But there is you're right though. It's like we're not. Everything is very very PC. Which is I totally get because people do get offended, but people are very very quick to label things and to make things certain things when they're not. Like you say, I'm in a group, football guys, and trust me, if that fucking group ever gets out, we'll probably all get locked up. Do you know what I mean? Or some of the stuff that's been said, but. These guys are cool guys. They're nice guys. Do you know what I mean? They're people you'll introduce to your mum and dad, and they're cool. And they don't mean anything. And nothing is. It is funny. It is just. It is comedy. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people, if on LinkedIn, who do and say things probably that don't share on LinkedIn, or think even, but. Obviously, they don't say it because they think it's offensive. And it's an absolute shame. It's an absolute shame. And that's why I do sometimes try and say things which, kind of what people are thinking, do you know what I mean? But they just won't say it because they think it, But I never, ever, ever go out of my way to try and offend anyone or to say anything to try and offend anyone. But it is a bit like, oh yeah, that's the sort of thing I'll say to my mate down the road. Do you know what I mean? Like I say fuck all the time. I did a post the other day about, I said it on another podcast actually, that about a laptop, for example, saying someone got offended by the way by that. I don't get that. When you go buy a laptop, would you buy a good laptop or will you buy a fucking good laptop? Because I know which fucking laptop I'll buy. Do you know what I mean? So it's that kind of thing. But it's not offensive, but it's an offensive word, so they say. But these same people, right? Probably watch people die. Do you know what I mean? They watch things that, I don't know, someone gets shot or whatever, which is worse than the word fuck or worse than the words. It's so weird because everyone thinks this is the worst word ever. Cunt. Sorry, I've said it. You can mute that bit, but it's not. It's just a word. But there are worse things that happen that are worse than words. They're never said, to people saying like you're certain this, you're this, you're that. No, they're just words. They're just to emphasize them on the message. Literally, that's all they are, because they just make it sound better. It's a bit like painting your house a different color than fucking vanilla. Do you know what I mean? That's all it is.
One guy, Vic, wrote to me the other day, and he said, "I don't like seeing the word shit in print. Please remove it." So I wrote back and I said, "You're going to like the word fuck even less." And he was very upset, right? He went on a LinkedIn jihad against me, right?
But it doesn't. The thing is, it doesn't even make sense. I don't understand how people. I understand some people don't swear. I don't swear in front of my kids. Never will. I don't swear in front of my parents. I don't, because it's just a respect thing. Do you know what I mean? But I know they know I swear. And I know I can swear, but it's just because I've respected them, and that's fair enough. But it literally is a word. You've not killed anyone.
See, some people would see that as hypocritical. That if you don't swear in front of your kids or your parents, but you swear in front of other people, or you swear in writing, in the written word, some people might think that that's hypocritical.
Well, it is hypocritical in a way, but because my parents have never told me never to swear. They've just never sworn, so I've never sworn in front of them. Right. Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, people have the option of like not reading my posts.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? They can literally just scroll and avoid that. And normally, sometimes, if I do know that I've said a lot of fucks and stuff. I probably do say that, if, it does contain swear words, don't read it. Same as they do in films, adverts, whatever the hell it is. Just sort of like warn people, the fuckless people. But
I had
they still read and then they whinge.
I had an elderly Chinese aunt one day, and we were all sitting around a table, like 3 generations of kids, right, and relatives.
Yeah.
And someone said the word wanker, and she goes, "What's a wanker?" And I'm thinking, here's an 85-year-old Chinese lady trying to understand. And no one wanted to tell her what a wanker was, right? And, I think that's just a cultural, I thought that was really funny, because I thought, how has she's grown up in Australia and doesn't understand the word wanker.
You should have said it's a slang for, "Can I have some water, please?"
Yeah, okay, fine.
That would have been funny. And then next time she wants some water, she just goes, "Wanker." I would have done that, but anyway.
She was a scary woman. Even at 4'11", Vic, she would have kicked your ass from way over
probably.
Here. So let's talk. Well, let's go back to LinkedIn, okay?
Yeah.
Pardon me for a second. So someone calls you up and says, "Vic, give me the top 3 things that I could do to improve my engagement on LinkedIn." What would Vic's advice be?
I'll probably say it's obviously depending on what they do. You need to transfer your business and your sort of like persona that needs to come across, and you need to be comfortable with that. If you try and be someone else, that also comes across. And he just looks desperate and he looks fake. I've seen people that when they copy other people and it just looks like, oh yeah, that just looks like someone else, and it doesn't look great. So you need to do that. So you need to have that, I don't know, ethos or whatever it is, and you need to have, I don't know what the word for it, but I'm pretty sure there is in marketing. And the other thing is, you need to try it as much, and then just keep on posting and see what works, and whatever works, do more of that. And last but not least is just consistency. You literally have to put in the work, but you also need to enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy it, that also comes across, and it just looks like, your content is just desperate and shit. And you're posting for the sake of it.
Was there a tipping point for you, where you kept showing up every day, you let your personality shine in your posts? Because that's what I think people get from you very quickly, that you're a very genuine person.
Yeah.
But at what point did it tip over? Or can you think back? Was it a post, a series of posts? What got you to that point?
What got me to that point? I don't know.
But you know what I'm trying to say?
I do. Yeah, like at what point was it sort of like I've made it kind of thing, and something is happening and people are like, oh yeah. I really couldn't tell you, because it's all been very, very sort of, it's been gradual, sort of steady, increase. I think I really, really couldn't tell you. I mean, the other thing as well, I think I was talking to someone the other day, they asked me, you've asked me as well, but like, how do you know whatever post, you get something out of it? Do you know what I mean? Because like I said, a lot of my clients come from LinkedIn and stuff, but I couldn't tell you. I mean, I would love to know stats, which I never ever look at them, because I don't know how to do it anyway. We're talking about SSR.
There's a platform called Shield, SHIELD, which tracks LinkedIn stats.
Yeah. And Doug, I never.
Stephen Pope's a big, advocate of Shield, and I've got a Shield account. But I mean, I think it's good, but I subscribed to it a couple of months ago and haven't even looked at it since. It's more. Yeah. I think it's a vanity thing more than anything.
I literally just have fun. Again, like I said to you, because I don't really communicate. I don't really call anyone. So to me, that is LinkedIn is literally like my prospecting, which is everyone else's. So instead of cold calling people, I just go there and have fun, talk shit, post shit, engage with people. I engage with people all the time. And you just learn new things. And I'm also connected to a lot of, marketing people as well, a lot of clever people, which, you pick up things, you learn things. So yeah, it's, but yeah, again, I don't know anything about marketing. Literally, I know nothing. So,
I would disagree. I think you do. You just you're being a bit humble. The only thing you don't know anything about is football, because you don't even know what football is. Right?
Oh wow! Who do you support?
All right. We have a couple of minutes after the client call right after that from LinkedIn. So to sum it all up, I think, Vic, you agree with me, and definitely Sam, you two are very similar. I think you should to spend more time on this platform. Both of you are going on LinkedIn to have a good time.
True.
And I think most people don't do that. I think 98% of people go in on LinkedIn and take it very, very, very serious. At the end of the day, but your business is a very serious thing, but your mindset about LinkedIn can't be serious. Have fun, engage with people, learn a bit, keep trying to improve yourself every day. Don't worry about Shield. Don't worry about data. Are you having fun? Are people connecting to the message? Are you getting clients from that? That is your data, right? I don't have Shield. I use it for other clients. I don't use it for myself, because the number one metric I get, well, two of them. One, am I having a good time? And two, are people like, those are the only two data I'm interested in.
Doug's internet connection.
Are you asking me to work with you? And am I having a good time? Nothing else matters. And I think you too. When people watch this podcast, the biggest lesson I get out of this is that you've got to have fun. Come on the platform and put a smile on your face and be as real as you can be. Am I wrong? I think that's the message.
No, that is the message.
Is have fun.
Yeah, I agree. And I just wanted to say thanks to Vic for, giving us his time. And this is my Australian goodbye to you, Vic.
I've got a post for you. I'm going to tag you in a post.
Did you see that? That's the Aussie affectionate way of saying goodbye to an English person, right?
That's beautiful. That is beautiful. I'll see you around.
All right, Vic.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me. And Doug, finally we speak. So it's been awesome, man.
Well, thanks, Vic. You're the man.
You're a good man, Vic. Brother. Cheers, Doug. Man. Talk to you later.
Cheers, man. Awesome, boys.
Take it easy, Vic.
Cheers. Thank you.